Welcome back. Today I want to talk about Paravastha. That's the after-effect-poise-state of Kriya Yoga, or any meditation system. So we have the doing, we're doing the technique, we're following the breath, we're controlling the breath, we're entering into heart rate variability resonance, right? That's the work. And then after that, we have to have this stage where we enjoy the being. We have to do the doing and then be the being. We have to enjoy that part. In any meditative tradition, this should be the emphasis. So let's get into it. In any meditative tradition, that after-effect-poise state, as we call it in Kriya, we call it Paravastha, that state should be the one which is emphasized the most. Now, we might need to learn a lot about the technicalities of doing the technique, how to do the technique, how to do the progression properly, but once that is understood, the Paravastha state, the after-effect-poise state, the being state, the enjoying state, ought to be the emphasis for us in our practice. We want to do the work and then enjoy the fruits. And it's very, very important that we do. If we feel a tremendous amount of calm or peace or joy or bliss or tranquility, and then we go back to the doing and we run over the enjoyment with our doing, well, we've missed the entire point, haven't we? We've trampled the Paravastha state, and that's something we don't want to do. So we have to understand this state if we're going to meditate deeply and effectively. And it's kind of hard for us to understand how to enjoy. It's kind of hard for our left brains to understand, how do I just be, how do I just enjoy, what am I doing? Well, we're not doing, we're being, but we have a hard time with that. So when I teach Kriya, I like to give a list, 3 levels of Paravastha. After we have done heart rate variability resonance, let's say we did it for 5, 10, 15, or 20 minutes, and then we just let go. And at that point, we can notice if we have any of the 4 proofs. This is level number 1 of Paravastha. Do I have hands hot and heavy? I'm noticing inside of myself, has the parasympathetic system caused a shift in my body as I went into resonance because of the doing I was doing? Are my hands hot and heavy? Number 2, do my lips tingle? Number 3, do I feel any pressure on the dorsal vagal complex? A blissful, tingling, joyous pressure on the dorsal vagal. Can I feel any of that tingle in the spine? I feel it as if it is inside of the spine, but it's actually right on top of it, right? That's the dorsal vagal pressure. And number 4, do I have any tingling on the skin anywhere? On my hands, on my face, on my arms, on my chest, on my back, on my thighs, on any part of my body, is the skin tingling? If we have any of those 4 proofs, we have activated the parasympathetic system, and our meditation is a success because of that. And we can sit there with that proof. If it's 1, we sit with 1. If we have all 4, we can sit with all 4 and begin to enjoy them. Begin to soak them into ourselves. This is very important. We want these proofs to be readily available to the subconscious. We want the body, the subconscious, and the conscious mind to be able to perceive these proofs easily and to get into them easily. So the more time that we spend with them, consciously enjoying them, the faster they're going to come in every succeeding meditation. Level number 2, you could say this is the limbic or emotional phase of the Paravastha. Do I have any calm? Do I have any tranquility? Do I have any joy? Do I have any bliss? Has any of that dorsal vagal pressure become so bubbly that I feel a little bit of joy? Has the ease of my parasympathetic system become so profound that I feel a tremendous calm? That's it. That's this second phase of Paravastha. We've come to a deeper level. Not only have we awakened the parasympathetic system, but it's having an effect on our mind and our calm and our heart and our psychology. And it's profound. And when we soak that into ourselves, we imbue our beings with calm and peace and joy and bliss. And that's what we want. That's really extremely transformative, healing, recuperating, and it's just shooting us into a deeper and deeper meditation when we can absorb these qualities. Level number 3 of Paravastha, the After-Effect-Poise-State, are the 3 essentials: the tranquil breath, the freeze response, and the roll-up of consciousness. Do I have any of those? Do I notice a really shallow breath deep down in the belly? That's the tranquil breath. And it might be a little fast, or it might be moderate, or it might be super slow. And that's what yogis, they say, oh, I was breathless. Well, it was just so slow you couldn't see the breath. And then after a minute or so, it might come back. You might see it again. That's the profoundly deep, tranquil breath. Do I have the freeze response? Has the body become numb? Have parts of the body dimmed from my awareness? Slightly or profoundly, all of that is the freeze response. Do I have a little bit of dislocation? Do I have stretching? I feel like my head is way up here and my body's way down here. That's a little bit of dislocation caused by the freeze response. Do I have that tingling throughout the skin? That's a wonderful sign that the freeze response is beginning to come onto you. It's the end of the 4 proofs and the beginning of the freeze response. It's very profound. And then do I have the roll-up of consciousness into the brain? Do I feel rolled up into my heart? It's just like the lover. The lover says, oh, I'm walking on cloud 9. Why does he say that? Well, because he's lifted up above all of his troubles. And so the yogi does this every single day. He falls in love again every single day. He gets rolled up into his heart, pulled up above all the troubles of the world that are down in the lower 3 centers. He gets pulled up into his upper nervous system, up into the throat of wisdom, up into the knowing of the medulla, the ajna chakra. All of this is a roll-up of consciousness. And these 3 things, the tranquil breath, the freeze response, and the roll-up of consciousness, these are everything that a meditative technique is trying to give to you. So if you're practicing Kriya Yoga, this is exactly the state that the Kriya Yoga is trying to give to you. It's moving you towards that. So when we notice them in ourselves, oh my goodness, I'm in the tranquil breath, I'm in the freeze response, I have some roll-up of consciousness, I think this is happening. We want to sit with it and notice it and enjoy it and pull it into ourselves and really hug it, embrace it, and be with it and recognize it so that it sinks into our consciousness profoundly. We notice it, we treasure it, and it comes back faster and faster and faster and more often in every single meditation. So any of those states, that's the 3rd phase, and this is a profoundly deep Paravastha state. I remember somebody wrote to me, he says, oh, I'm not doing so great in meditation, I just have the tranquil breath and the freeze response and nothing else is going on. And do you know how deep this is? Do you know how long it took some of us to get to this point? Ages. Oh my goodness, ages. Just tens of years, right? So when those states come to you, just treasure them profoundly because they're really, really deep and wonderful and glorious. And you want to soak them into yourself, into your consciousness, so they come back faster and faster. All of this is taking us to a place where it gets easier and easier to let go of ourselves, let go of the left brain personality, let go of our history and our story. We just let go of that temporarily. We get pulled into the upper nervous system, and the gamma brain waves come online, and the higher self is easy to perceive. We have that download experience, we have that absorption experience, we feel profound inspiration, profound bliss, profound joy, profound knowing, and that is absorption. And so you could say that absorption is actually the fourth phase of Paravastha, and after that comes the non-dual state of samadhi. And this is why the Paravastha, the After-Effect-Poise-State, the enjoy state, we did the doing and now we've got to be the being. It's so important, because this is the portion of your meditation which is going to blossom into absorption and samadhi. That's why it's so important. So in every very good Kriya lineage, the Paravastha will be emphasized. We have to learn all of the doing first, but then we've got to start talking about getting into the being, because that's where it's really at. We want to do the doing only so that we can enjoy the being, and never do the doing and run over your own enjoyment of the being. That's why Lahir Mashaya very clearly said, when the tranquil breath shows up, stop the Kriya Yoga. Just enjoy the tranquil breath. You really want to pull it into yourself. And maybe it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Maybe it doesn't seem like, well, I think something else should be happening. But that's the doing part of our brain, isn't it? Something should be happening, instead of just, I'm just going to sit here and love this and enjoy it and be with it. That's the being. That's what we want. And it will blossom. It will. But first we have to imbue ourselves with it. I wish all of you a very, very joyous, happy new year. I hope you love this. If you did, be sure to hit that bell down below so I can see all of you next time.